Good evening, and welcome to tonight's commencement ceremony for the Pequea Valley High School class of 2020. My name is Patrick Pratt, and as this year's president, I would like to thank the school board members, the administration, parents, facilitators, friends, and relatives for supporting us as learners and people up until this moment. For the journey, it may not have always been easy, but we want to thank you for helping us get to this point. To the class of 2020, enjoy this incredible moment, and I wish you all the best of luck in your future. Thank you.
To all the coaches, pastors, facilitators, parents, mentors, anyone that has shaped the class of 2020 into the awesome, unconventional, complex, and independent human beings that are somewhere in front of me, thank you. Seniors, every day since the beginning of the year, we've been instructed to wear our school-issued lanyards. So today, for one last time, I will wear mine. These 13 years have been quite the journey. There is no question about that, especially considering I wrote this speech in quarantine. The class of 2020 is unlike any other graduating class. It is almost fitting that we graduate in such unique and unconventional circumstances. Over the 13 years as learners of Pequea Valley, I've seen us grow in many ways. I remember walking down the hallways, a scared little freshman, not wanting to make eye contact with the big bad seniors. Fast forward 4 years later, and now I see us strutting with confidence, probably with some overpriced drink in our hand, down our hallways. It is my hope that we all carry that strutting down the hallways confidence in life. One of my favorite quotes is, "Don't let the world, which doesn't know the first thing about living, tell you how to live. Life is way too short to not shine as bright as possible." My fellow graduates who are tuned in, wherever they may be, refuse to let anyone or anything dim your light. We have a great ability to adapt and thrive in the oddest of circumstances. Maybe this is because I've been on the injury list one too many times, and I visit the trainer's room more than I'd like to admit. But this year, there appeared to be a high number of serious injuries in our senior athletes. However, did that stop them? No. They knew it was their time to shine, and that's what they did. They trained, recovered, and got back on that field as soon as humanly possible. I'll let Colby and Robert tell you all about how those athletes led our school to many victories, but the character and perseverance they demonstrated, even at their toughest of times, perfectly illustrates the mentality of this class. We truly do live up to one of our school's most famous phrases, #PequeaRising. When writing this speech, I asked a few facilitators here at Pequea Valley who have worked closely with the class of 2020 this question. If you could describe the graduating class of 2020 in one word or phrase, what would it be? Besides our all-time favorite label, Pequea Valley learners, this were their answers. Determined, resilient, dedicated, cohesive, empathetic future leaders, innovators, and full of grit. Take a moment to think about each of those words. Each of those words were specifically selected by people that have seen us grow over the years. These people have influenced us and helped us to find our own inner light. On behalf of the class of 2020, I will once again like to thank all the bright lights that have helped me and my fellow graduates through the extreme highs and lows of life. A special shout out to Mr. Fiore for being one of the brightest lights at Pequea Valley. Not just for his unique sense of humor, but for his ability to brighten others' lights with that contagious smile of his. We've successfully arrived at the point where we never, ever, ever have to do another Empower article, another week of Membeing, vocabulary.com, Alex, or Get More Math, whichever one you dislike more, or another study island. We've done it. Now, before I wrap this up, there is something I need to do. Class of 2020, you no longer have to wear your Pequea Valley lanyards. Congratulations. In closing, each member of our class has been influenced by many different and special bright lights. My challenge to you, class of 2020, is that wherever you are headed and whatever your future may hold, you find your own inner light and share it with the world. Congratulations, and thank you, class of 2020.
You were born to inspire and be brave. September 11th, 2001. A day of increasing fear and unanswered questions. A day full of worry and an unknown future. A day our parents became worried about what kind of world we grow up in. A day that sounds all too familiar to what our reality has been over the last few months. A pandemic that has swept not only the nation, but the world. You were born to inspire and be brave. You heard me say it every day for the last 129 days of our senior year. Did you ever sit back and take that in? I know many of you cut off listening after I said the lunch menu for the day. Inspire and be brave isn't just said to fill that awkward space between the end of the announcements and the beginning of your flex. It has a meaning that I believe we need in our lives as we approach the unknown path ahead. According to dictionary.com, the word inspire is the action to fill someone with the urge or ability to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. Our class is a class that has a 2020 vision for what we want our future to look like. We set goals and we reach them. This was shown in sports as our soccer team, with the majority of seniors, strived and succeeded in becoming section champs 2 years in a row. Or it's seen in tennis as the majority of our seniors win states and bring home the trophy to our small country school. Or how about our basketball team, as our seniors make history in a state tournament run? Let's switch the lens and look into our music program. Our senior choir and chamber singer members hold the majority in these two extraordinary ensemble groups. These groups were able to hold workshops, take home first place in the Virginia Ensemble Adjudication, or even get the chance to work with amazing conductors and professors. Let's change the lens one more time. Our class led in academics. This is shown in the amount of learners who graduated with a surplus of credits, a dedication to their learning and internships taken throughout the course of their high school career. Our class is born to inspire others to follow the path that we laid. Our class set the bar high in all the categories that I just stated, and we must take these achievements and goal-setting mindsets into our future and inspire the generation that will follow. The word brave is an adjective, and it is defined as the action of possessing or exhibiting courageous endurance. The class of 2020 shows this on a daily basis. We are a class that has seen it all. We witnessed our country at war abroad, crime, politics, disease, and terrorism, but we did not let that determine our future. These life experiences made us stronger and braver, and as we depart from Pequea Valley into a world of many uncertainties and struggles, we must hold the courageous endurance that defines the action of being brave. Step out of your comfort zone and reach for your dreams. Be brave and work hard for what you want. You have exhibited this your whole academic life at Pequea. As I wrote my last words to the class of 2020 in quarantine, I looked back at all the great memories that we have created the last 13 years here at Pequea. I know many of you, including me, had a lot planned for our senior year, including prom, spring fling, final concerts, and club meetings. However, if there is a class that will endure through these rough times, it is the class that is sitting right here. We came into the world during 9/11 and ended a huge chapter of our lives with a virus that no one could have predicted. These struggles won't end as we start our new journey, but I know all of you will get through it because of the life experiences that we have encountered. So be brave enough to take a new path. Step out of your comfort zone and reach for your dreams. Leave a legacy that will inspire those around you to live up to the dream that you set as a reality. Thank you, class of 2020, for the legacy that we set at Pequea Valley the last 13 years. Now, let's take on this world and inspire and be brave.
Good evening, class of 2020. It is always my honor to give you your final lesson in your K-12 career. So here it goes. I'd like to share a message and a reminder for everyone, especially during these challenging times. It has to do with the power of positive thinking. As you know, it's easy to stay positive when everything's going right in the world. It's those people that stay positive when times are tough that separate themselves from the others. For example, we now live in a world that is very uncertain. What will you do as a member of class of 2020 to make this world better? How will you act from this point forward? Will you say the opponent is too big and curl up in a ball and give up? Or will you take the COVID cards that you were dealt with and make it the best and play a hand that you didn't even see coming? At PV, we discuss a lot about growth mindset and fixed mindset. Here are some of the comments people would make with a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Someone from a fixed mindset might say, failure is the limit of my abilities. Someone from a growth mindset might say failure is an opportunity to grow. Fixed mindset, I'm either good at it or I'm not. Growth mindset, I can learn to do anything I want. Fixed mindset, when I'm frustrated, I give up. Growth mindset, my effort and attitude determine my abilities. Positive thinking, the power of it is amazing. Isn't it happening to all of us right now? The COVID crisis is forcing us to think differently and pick between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Are you opening up your minds? Or are you in a fixed mindset and pitying yourself like some others? I know the class of 2020. I know that answer. You are trying to make the world a better place for everyone to live. It happened to me the other day. You see, we never had a virtual school board meeting because I never wanted one. In fact, I was afraid to have one. If it wasn't for the necessity of the COVID crisis, we would not ever probably have a virtual meeting, as long as I was superintendent. Because I started putting out the what ifs that we all do. What if the sound doesn't work? What if the Wi-Fi shuts down? What if? What if it fails? Then in turn, I fail. We all do this, correct? I don't want to fail, so therefore I'm not even going to try. Someone once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So take every shot you can. On May 5th, 2020, we had our first virtual board meeting here at Pequea Valley School District. And we got a lot of things accomplished. Did it go perfectly? No, but it went pretty well. And it reminded me of some of the things that I tell our learners that, hey, give it a shot first before you knock it. And don't be afraid of trying something new that can better your organization. It's actually happening to our facilitators. I know it's hard to believe, but we had some traditional teachers who had a fixed mindset about online learning. Not their ability, it was their mindset that prevented them from doing so. Let me share with you an email that I received 2 weeks ago from one of our great facilitators at Pequea Valley. Dr. O, I don't believe this, but I'm actually an online teacher. I never thought I could do this stuff. Now I am enjoying it and learning so much more than I did in my first 24 years of teaching. This will definitely make me a better facilitator in the long run. Was it her ability or her mindset that prevented her for 24 years to learn any of this online stuff? Because of the situation we were in, she was forced to choose a growth mindset and open her mind to new things. And she's happy she did so. How many times do we do this? Close a great possibility without even trying for fear of failure. How many graduates out there are watching the documentary of the 1998 Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever to live? While watching with my daughter the other night, she asked me if there was a year that Michael Jordan didn't win a championship. What people forget is that it took Michael 7 years to win the ultimate prize. Because as he learned, no one wins a championship without great teammates around him or her. During those 7 years, Michael scored more points and played better probably than anybody else, but was known as the scoring champion who couldn't win a championship. In fact, the Last Dance documentary has shared that Michael Jordan gradually had to open up his growth mindset in order to win the ultimate prize. His coach taught him that he needed his teammates if he was ever going to win the big prize. This lesson was so important to Michael's growth. In fact, in his last year as a Chicago Bull, he has mentioned that he would never play for another coach other than Phil Jackson. Not because Phil was his favorite person or made every play for Michael to score. It was because Phil challenged him and made him use his growth mindset about his teammates and turn losing into winning. Coach Jackson was the coach that taught him that he needed to share the ball, share the glory, utilize his teammates' strengths in order to win that NBA championship. That lesson won him 6 of them when it was all said and done. Class of 2020, look for those mentors. Look for those teammates that challenge you, challenge your growth mindset, and make you better as a person. It's great to have yes men and yes ladies all around you, but until you find teammates and mentors that challenge you, you will never see the best you. Staying in theme, Jordan once said, "I've missed over 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and have failed. I've failed over and over again in life, and that is why I have succeeded." Michael was okay now with failing, because every time he failed, he did what? He learned, and he got better. That is called failing forward. You see, it's okay to fail forward, and it's okay to have a chip on your shoulder from that experience if you make it a positive chip. Most of you know that Michael Jordan, his airness, was cut from his high school basketball team. He used a chip on his shoulder to do something positive about it. He didn't blame the coach. He didn't blame his teammates or make endless excuses. He took his chip and worked harder than ever before. He states, "Whenever I was working out and got tired and figured I ought to stop, I close my eyes and see the list in the locker room without my name on it. And that usually got me going again and working harder than ever." That was his positive chip, finding motivation to turn negatives into positives. A positive chip also tells us to respect everyone, but fear no one. Who knows this better than the PV girls basketball team? When I asked them about playing a much bigger Hempfield has over 2,000 learners in their high school. We have just over 500 learners in our high school. When asked about playing a much bigger foe, our players took the right attitude. Hempfield is a great team, and we are going to have to play our best to win. They are solid at every position. They respected Hempfield. Walking away, one of the players looked back at me and winked and said, "I'm telling you, we will get them if we do what we do. Fear no one. Respect everyone, fear no one, and use that chip to the best of your ability." Of course, they didn't worry about the things they can't control, the 2,000 learners compared to the 500 learners. They respected it, but didn't fear it. They didn't say the opponent was too big and curl up in a ball. And we know what happened from there. Their mindset was the reason they made history this season. The reason I bring this up is because after today, after graduation, and the first time you're out on your own, so to speak, is a great time, but it's also a scary time because you have to take more accountability and more responsibility. And when you take more responsibility and try new things, you will make mistakes. We all did at your age, and we all still do as human beings. Don't let those failures take the PV spirit out of you. My advice to the class of 2020 is when faced with adversity, you look at it right in the eye and use that growth mindset, that Peckway chip, to motivate you to accomplish whatever you want in life. You will fail sometimes. We all do. Make sure you fail forward and take every negative and make it a positive on your way to great success for the future. That's what winners do. That's what braves do. As always, Once a brave, always a brave. Please come back and visit us. And I've heard from a lot of parents that I need to say this expression because I end with this with every year at every graduation. When celebrating your graduation, know when fun ends and trouble begins. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your graduation ceremony. It was a joy to serve you the last 13 years. Thank you.
This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too, the sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of all of us, singing with love and the will to trust. Leave the rest behind, it'll turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of one voice, one people, one voice, a song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
Good evening, class of 2020. I would like to start off by saying congratulations. We finally made it to graduation. It brings me great joy to see you all here, and I wouldn't want to graduate with any other class. It is very unfortunate that the last half of our senior year was cut short. It was mostly smooth sailing, but the waves got a little too rough during a storm we did not see coming. It might have seemed like we were completely shipwrecked, and there was no hope of ever getting out. But we did something that our class is very good at, and that's persevering. In order to succeed and get through difficult times, you need to persevere. Life will throw many difficult situations in your way, and you'll need to make decisions that could affect your success. It's never a good idea just to sit around and do nothing. Time is a very precious thing, and once a minute, an hour, a day, a week, a month, and a year pass by, you'll never be able to go back. That's why you should focus on what's going on right now and make the best of your time. If you do this, then it will be easier to plan for the future. Not every day will be your day, and that's okay. Life is like one big marathon. In order to be successful, you have to pace yourself. You don't want to sprint as fast as you can in the beginning of the race, because then you'll eventually lose a lot of your energy. People will begin to pass you. No matter what you choose to do after graduation, join the workforce, go to college, or take a gap year, go at a good pace that you feel will make you successful. But don't always play it safe. Be willing to take risks and try something new. Life can be hard, but if you give it your all and have perseverance, you'll make it. We might have not been able to have prom or finish out spring sports. We might have not been able to perform in our last band or chamber singers concert, but we did our best to make do with what life threw at us. Social distancing probably made a lot of us gloomy at times, but we found ways to fill up most of our time. We're here now, and that's all that matters. I will say that the first half year of senior year was one of the best years of high school for me, and I think a lot of you would say the same. Even though it was very short, we still had a lot of fun. The student section at the football games were almost completely filled up most Friday nights. Homecoming and the winter dance were both fantastic nights, filled with lots of dancing and laughter. The girls' basketball team had the most wins in school history, and they made their first appearance in the league championship and state playoffs. The concert choir, chamber singers, and concert band all performed with concerts that made people smile. The spring musical was a big success. Grease was hands down my favorite musical that I've helped with at Peckway, and I was glad to be a part of it. All of these things made our senior year exciting, even though it ended abruptly without warning. High school may be ending for us, but it's only just the beginning to the rest of our lives. We are capable of doing great things, whatever we decide to do. We will always have an impact on the world around us. I would like to say thank you to all the wonderful and supporting faculty and facilitators that helped us along the way. They helped us to be the people we are today. Now, some of us might be very excited to leave high school and close off this chapter of our lives. Some might be scared or nervous to start a new chapter that's ahead of them. However you are feeling, face this new chapter with an open mind. Be open to new experiences and friendships. I'm very proud of you all. Although I won't get to see many of you after graduation, I know you'll live great lives and lead others the best you can. Know that wherever your journey in life takes you, we will always have one thing in common. We're all Peckway Valley Braves. We have shared so many memories together that will last a lifetime. Class of 2020, you're the reason I'm proud to call myself a Peckway Valley Brave. I want to leave you off with this quote. It's from the film The Music Man, and I hope you can think of it during tough times. You pile up enough tomorrows, and you'll find you're left with nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering. Thank you.
Welcome, class of 2020. Parents, grandparents, community, friends, board members, and staff. It's my pleasure and honor to speak to you with you for the last time serving as the past principal at Peckway Valley High School. Our last year would be special, fun, full of memories and emotions, and one last time events. We had hoped that some of the events would go on forever, while we would be glad some were finally finished. Each of you had hoped by the time you completed your years at Peckway, you had done enough, that you left your mark and would feel satisfaction in what you accomplished over the last 13 years. You thought when graduation day rolled around, you would be ready to say goodbye to the past and look to the future. The senior class was, as I was, certainly not prepared for the school experience to play out like it had. No one, not even the experts, could have anticipated a year like 2020. The last 3 months of school reminded me of a popular game show when I was growing up called Let's Make a Deal. Let's Make a Deal was hosted by Monty Hall. Ask your parents. Well, I'm pretty old. Well, perhaps your grandparents. They'll probably remember. The game show worked as follows. Typically, you, the contestant, could trade something that was given to you of value for something unknown. The unknown usually was either in a large box, an envelope, or perhaps something behind a huge curtain on the stage. The unknown boxes or envelope or item behind the curtain often included large sums of money, lavish cruises, world-class vacations, cars, motorcycles, boats, or kitchen appliances, just to name a few. Your imagination and dreaming of what could be or how it would all end was part of the show. Most people did not dream or consider the worst-case scenario or the consolation prize, which often was a goat, a pig, a tricycle, or perhaps a plastic swimming pool. I am sure that many, if not most of you, felt like I have. My last year, my senior year, it's not supposed to end this way. As in Let's Make a Deal, the known was finishing the last 3 months of school, the most exciting and most memorable months for most seniors. Think about it. The prom, sports, being a leader, captain, and playing your last game, senior awards programs, spring fling, banquets, and of course, graduation, just like all other seniors before us. It was a safe bet. It would be fun. We're seniors and excited knowing the end of the school year was near. We were almost finished at Pequay Valley. However, that opportunity was traded away. Traded for something behind the curtain, which at first appeared to be appealing. No school for a few days, sleeping in, no homework. Yahoo! Eventually, we realized that the prize behind the curtain would most certainly create havoc, not only for our last year of school, but everything in our life. What was behind our curtain was the goat we had not imagined. We quickly learned the things we took for granted in our lives and school would never return as we knew them or had ever expected for the class of 2020. The face of education would change and bring new challenges, not only for the senior class in Pequay Valley, but the entire country. Upon further reflection, the last 3 months of school would not define the class of 2020. Your dedication to the school, hard work, integrity, character, or grit. The class of 2020 has done something extremely unique and special. The class was able to do something that was unthinkable and deemed as impossible. You completed the entire fourth marking period without stepping a foot in the school. Quite frankly, an unbelievable feat. The class has secured a place in history and made it happen. Think back. How did that happen? It was not by luck or by good fortune. Quite simply, you were well prepared. It was the 13-year journey that prepared each of you, academically, socially, and emotionally, to reach the finish line. What you had learned over the 13 years paid huge dividends. The pilot iPad program started in elementary, which grew to laptops in the middle school, with more sophisticated software and virtual courses in the high school. The knowledge and education you had gained proved to be successful and will continue to be the key to open more doors and opportunities in the future. The class of 2020 embraced the challenges and not left with a goat behind the curtain. Today is a day to rejoice and celebrate, to reflect with your family, friends, school, and community. We are so proud of each and every one of you. The class of 2020 may have the most memorable graduation and commencement of all time. Embrace the commencement like you have everything else. Soak in the moment. You certainly have earned it. Congratulations to the class of 2020. In closing, my 37 years of education, I ask you, class of 2020, let's make a deal. Promise me to imagine that the life behind the curtain is filled with success, excitement, and good fortune. To help make it valuable and memorable, I thought I may leave you with 10 pieces of advice that Monty Hall never mentioned. 1, life is not always perfect. Sometimes good is okay. 2, when one door doesn't open or work, try another door. It may lead to something different. 3, continue to learn. As you certainly have in the 4th marking period, find alternative ways to learn. Sometimes relearning or unlearning, but always continue to learn. 4, dream. Dream about your future. Dream about how you can succeed and to fulfill your potential. 5, from time to time, take calculated risks. 6, as you certainly have, keep a sense of humor. Laughter is important. You're going to need it sometimes. 7, keep your promises. 8, learn to be comfortable with silence. Learn to be a good listener. Listen to learn and not to respond. 9, be kind. Give back to others and your community. No one accomplishes everything by themselves. And lastly, number 10. Life is not a race, but a journey to be savored each step of the way. Rejoice and celebrate your graduation. Each of you has a gift, a talent. Find it and build upon it. And remember, you will always be a Peckway Valley brave. Congratulations and thank you. May God bless each and every one of you.
Good evening. It gives me great pleasure to announce the names of the graduating class of 2020 who have earned academic honors while at Peckway Valley High School. Graduating cum laude with a GPA of 3.35 to 3.64. Trevor Huber. Jack Werner. Anthony Tran. Jalen Goldsboro. Ryan Glenlast. Jonah Rollins, Robert Murphy, Mirtha Batista Serrata, Juanita Reyes, Megan Reyes, Kaylin Keene, and Bennett Nordoff. Graduating magna cum laude with a GPA of 3.65 to 3.94, Jordan Melson, Faith Strank, Kristen Hunink, Megan Arment, Abby Leslie, Jordan Stauffer, Faith Simpson, Jack Alanovich, Timothy Murphy, Evan Landis, Christy Groff, Lauren Kovalik, Aiden Cook, Jessica Hurst, Kara Hunick, Andrew Gossert, Nayeli Argueta, Seth Karg, Jacob Stolzfus, and Clara Neff. Graduating summa cum laude with a GPA of 3.95 to 4.3, Margaret Johnson with a GPA of 3.99, Joshua Gingrich with a GPA of 4.0, Hope Fisher with a GPA of 4.05, Caroline Horst with a GPA of 4.0721, Kalexia Lassick with a GPA of 4.0724, Caroline Bragg with a GPA of 4.1, and Savannah Ryan with a GPA of 4.19. Congratulations to all of you. Well done.
Good evening. It is my distinct honor and privilege to share with you the accomplishments of the graduating class of 2020. I feel especially blessed to be able to speak with you tonight in this capacity, as I've been lucky enough to witness this class showcase their talents through a wide variety of events over the years. We've been lucky enough to watch them perform in musicals and concerts. We've seen them serve our community as volunteers, helping those in need. We've witnessed them achieving victory in countless sporting events, and unfortunately, we've had to see them respond with adversity and resilience well beyond their years in the face of terrible tragedy and loss. It would be an understatement to say that we, as a district, are extremely proud of this year's graduating class. Their journey will not stop here tonight. They will only continue to make us proud as they become leaders in our local community and our nation. They will be the workers on which our society will soon rely. They will be on the front lines defending this nation's freedoms. They will be in the hospitals saving lives and in the classrooms molding the next generation. They will become the innovators and the entrepreneurs. And perhaps most importantly, they will be the mothers and fathers, husbands and wives responsible for shaping this nation's future. The 112 graduates of the class of 2020 include the following. 33% will be attending a four-year institution, the most popular being Penn State University, Millersville University, and the Pennsylvania College of Health Sciences. The furthest out-of-state schools the graduates will be attending include Chaminade University in Hawaii, Wesleyan University in Connecticut, and Flagler College in Florida. The most popular fields of study are nursing, business, and science. 13% will attend a two-year college, with Harrisburg Area Community College being the most popular. 9% will attend a technical school, with Thaddeus Stevens College, Penn College of Technology, and the Universal Technical Institute being the most selected. 27% will be entering the workforce, becoming the people that we immediately rely on to get the American economy moving again. 10 graduates will be attending Youth with a Mission, or the Word of Life Bible Institute, to then proceed to do missions work. 2 graduates will be joining the armed services. Alexis Batten will be serving as a member of the United States Marine Corps. Andrew Kennedy will be serving as a member of the United States Army. Thank you for your service to this nation. This year, 18 learners of the graduating class are members of the National Honor Society. Seniors will have earned over 40 different awards totaling over $5,000. 26 learners earned honor plaques this year, which indicate that they were on the honor roll every single marking period for all 4 years. It's an incredible accomplishment. Despite the mandated school closure in March, it is a marvel at what was accomplished already this school year. We have been blessed regularly by members of the senior class through their gifts of music. 4 seniors represented the school at the All-County High School Honor Band Festival this January. They were Kaylee Barnes, Caroline Bragg, Jackson Werner, and Emma Zanin. Lexi Lassick was recognized as a member of the PMEA District Band for the 7th consecutive year, and also was placed on the PMEA Region 5 Band on the piccolo. Seniors Caroline Bragg and Lexi Lassick served as student conductors in performances not only at Pequea Valley, but also at Millersville University. Drum majors Emily Beloga and Emma Zanin led the marching band in performances throughout the year, including at Lancaster, Millersville, and in New Holland. Timothy Murphy and Cameron Ross were selected as members of the county chorus. Elijah Elkins, Timothy Murphy, Seth Karg, Megan Reyes, Anthony Tran, Colby Bills, and Stuart Alvaro performed as members of the honor choir at the American Choral Directors Association Conference in Rochester, New York. The entire community was treated this year to an outstanding performance of Grease, featuring standout individual performances such as Elijah Elkins as Danny, Faith Schrank as Sandy, Maggie Johnson as Rizzo, and Colby Bills as Kanicki. We also got to experience stellar acting in the fall play, Radium Girls. In sports, the senior athletes and squads continued to add to our Pequea Valley history books. In football, senior Seth Gray was named to the all-section second team as a defensive lineman and was honorable mention as an offensive tackle. The boys soccer team won their second straight Section 4 title, finishing with a record of 15-4. TJ Hershey, Kyle Diller, and Bennett Nordoff were named first-team All-Stars. Brandon Ratchavong and Josh Gingerich were named to the second team, while Seth Karg was named an academic All-Star. TJ Hershey was named Section 4 Player of the Year. Girls soccer had a senior first-team All-Star, Kaylin Keene. Our girls tennis squad finished with a record of 13-4 and were in the top 10 in districts out of 35 teams. Our golf team finished with a regular season record of 25 wins and 5 losses. Seniors Josiah Nisley and Ty Solsus both finished amongst the top of the section in scoring, with Josiah leading the entire Lancaster-Lebanon League with a 76.4 average. Ty finished 4th in the section at 85.2, basically about 30 strokes better than my score. In boys basketball, senior Ty Stolzhus was also a part of a big turnaround, as the boys won 8 more games than they did the year prior. And who will honestly ever forget the accomplishments of this year's senior members of the girls basketball program? They finished as the top public school program, regardless of school size, in the Lancaster-Lebanon League and finished second overall, including taking down schools such as Solanco, Manheim Central, and Hempfield. They finished third in District 3 and made the PIAA playoffs for the first time in school history. Abby Leslie and Caroline Horst were named first team all-section All-Stars. Bethany Bills and Clara Neff made the second team. And Caroline Horst was named the Section 5 Player of the Year while becoming the 4th female to score 1,000 points in school history. You made the entire district come together during difficult days for the school, and for that we will be forever grateful. Our seniors also demonstrated their diverse talents by taking part in academic competitions throughout the year. TSA had 5 seniors place at the regional conference this year. A senior team of Jack Olenovich, Emily Beloga, Carlos Cordero, Michael Hershey, and Patrick Pratt took first place in the category of on-demand video. Emily Beloga took home a second place finish with her safety illustration. Jack Olenovich secured a third place with his flight endurance entry, and the team of Jack and Carlos took third place with their structural design and engineering entry. Our FFA program saw 3 seniors earn their Keystone degrees: Seth Card, Adrian Yothers, and Anthony T.J. Hershey. FFA also had a team finish second in the state in the category of agriculture issues. The team was comprised of Nayeli Argueta, Kara Unick, and Jordan Melson. Countless hours of internship and work study were logged by our learners. Just a few of the many examples of learners taking advantage of our mass customized learning include Andrew Gosser, who interned with PV's very own Mr. Gardenier as an athletic trainer, which he did every single day with a smile on his face. Eric Byler completed the ABC Keystone Pre-Apprenticeship Program over the summer and also completed a 300-hour HVAC internship with Smucker Mechanical. Due to his work ethic, he was allowed to earn while he learned. Amanda Berardo built relationships with young children and staff while interning at the Bright Horizons Education and Preschool Center. We are proud of all of the learners who took advantage of these MCL opportunities. Many of our graduates also took advantage of valuable learning opportunities at career and technology centers and earned certificates, honors, and awards, making the district proud from their off-campus locations. I would be remiss at this point in not mentioning the loss of much of the spring season, such as banquets, concerts, sports seasons, conferences, and competitions. While we can never give back the seasons, successes, experiences, and memories that were lost due to the closure, our hope is that you were able to look back on your time competing and performing for the Valley with fondness. We hope you remember the camaraderie that you shared with your fellow graduates, the memories on bus rides, thrills of success, the resiliency gained through having to bounce back from a tough loss or a poor performance. You did all of this, all while representing the district with pride and distinction. The class of 2020 will always be remembered, not just because of the COVID-19 virus, but in spite of it. You persevered through triumph and tragedy, through positives and through pain. You remained together, united as a family, and for that, you should be forever proud. To the class of 2020, we will miss you. Congratulations and best wishes. Mr. Ferris, Dr. Orndorff, members of the Board of School Directors, parents, friends, faculty, honored guests, and the class of 2020. I hereby certify that all members of the class of 2020 have met all the requirements for graduation as established by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Pequea Valley School Board. It therefore gives me great pleasure to present the graduates of the class of 2020.
On behalf of the class of 2020, I accept these diplomas.